Okay. Well, good afternoon. Let me start sharing my screen. Sorry. Okay, I think you might be seeing the slides right now. So good afternoon. This is Elena Montiel, and together with my colleague Victor Rodriguez, both members of the Ontology Engineering Group, a research group at Universidad Politécnica de Madrid. We're here today to share with you our experiences in the creation of legal knowledge graphs. Yes, and some developments also related with this. Well, experiences that we gained in the context of the Lynx project, a European innovation action that ended already last March, but which also belonged to the family of BDVA projects. Okay, here you see all the entities that participated in this exciting project. Universities, research centers, companies spread all over Europe, plus an Israeli company. So why did we decide to create a knowledge graph in the context of the Lynx project? Well, as you may be well aware of, right, knowledge graphs can be defined as collections of pieces of information that are connected. Yes, they consist of entities, yeah, concepts we have data or we want to say things about. These are the nodes, let's say, and we connect these entities to other entities by means of edges or relations. So in the end, what we have is a graph. Mm, so the main benefits of knowledge graphs, I think, are also well known, right? So the idea is they allow us to bring unstructured and structured data together. They allow us to um, generate unified views of heterogeneous and initially unconnected data sources. The resulting data sets can also be used to train machine learning algorithms, yeah, well, and so on and so forth. So basically, knowledge graphs, as one of my colleagues in the project used to say, are an efficient way to work together. And obviously, we are not the only ones that see the benefits of knowledge graphs, right? According to this Gartner consultancy firm, yeah, right now many expectations are being raised by knowledge graphs, and we do see the benefits. So for our Lynx project, yes, what were the entities in this knowledge graph, in the legal knowledge graph that we created? So since we wanted to bring together, to homogenize access to legal open data in Europe, yeah, this was one of the best ways to achieve it. Um, having this challenge in Europe means that data is published by different official law publishers at different levels. Of course, European level, national level, with all the national legislation publishers, even regional level. So legislation, so legal documents from different jurisdictions, and obviously in different languages. So the main entity in our legal knowledge graph was the legal document, what we called the Lynx document. Having to deal with multilingualism, we also wanted to have legal terms, legal concepts included in this knowledge graph. And for this, we counted on traditional resources, linguistic resources that capture and define legal terms, which are multilingual thesauri, terminologies, concept schemes in several languages, right? So legal terms, the bubble in orange was another entity in our legal knowledge graph. And finally, we had legal entities, what we call legal entities, so companies, industry sectors, institutions, also defined in this legal knowledge graph. So how did we build the knowledge graph? Well, to start with, the challenges we faced in our ambition to represent multilingual and multi-jurisdictional annotated documents was that content was structured in in different manners, XML, JSON, RDF, yeah, using different formats by different legislation publishers. That there are also several standards for annotating text documents, but not always in JSON LD. That documents are also identified in different manners, although in Europe, there is this European legislation identifier initiative that we also adopted, yes, but we did not only have legal documents, but also industry standards and other types of documents that were identified in different manners. So all in all, these were the main challenges we were facing. That's why we decided to create or the idea of this Lynx document. Yes, one single data structure described with and identified with ELI, with the and described with ELI metadata. We also defined a structure for this Lynx document. We structured the document into parts according to a LKG ontology that serves as data model. Yeah, we could also rely on RDF shapes to validate these content structures, these data structures. We decided to implement everything in beautiful JSON LD, yes, so easy to consume by developers. And as for the annotations, we relied on NIF, the NLP interchange format. Okay, so here you have like the main idea behind any Lynx document. Of course, there are other legal knowledge graphs. So depending on the needs of your project or what you want to represent, your entities in your legal knowledge graph will be others. So you may want to say things about claimants and courts and agents and dates, or you may also want to say, as we see here in the picture, the legal knowledge graph of the legislation in Luxembourg. You may want to say that one law is cited by another law, or derogates, or implements a EU directive, etc. So depending on your needs, entities and relations will be different. Very briefly, I'll refer to the technologies that supported the creation of our legal knowledge graph in Lynx. So documents were harvested, imported from different sources and transformed into the Lynx Lynx document structure. And then they went through an enrichment workflow, yes, to get all the annotations from NLP services. The data dumps, the public data that was harvested, even if for testing, has been published in data dumps and is available. And we also provided a portal to explore documents and formats. And yes, even if only as a kind of test and development service, here you get a view of the document and the metadata related to every document, and also to the legal entities, right? To the additional entities I was mentioning. You can also get further information about these entities and further explore them. Finally, I'll refer to the set of services, of Lynx services that were developed within this project. Yes, for the ingestion, pre-processing, and annotation of the legal documents. All the services are nicely described and accessible from the Lynx portal, in case you are interested. And with this, yes, I hope you got an overview of our experiences in the creation of legal knowledge graphs. And now I'll give the word to my colleague, Victor, who will further explain, yes, other developments in this regard. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. I will resume the presentation. I will start sharing my screen, which you should be able to see now. So now what? We have Elena has presented how companies have benefited from these solutions. I will present what's next and beyond. We are the Ontology Engineering Group is a research group made of almost 40 people, including several PhD students that are doing research in the area of legal informatics. For example, we have developed a solution to identify temporal expressions. It's the leading solution for the Spanish language and the only one working in the legal, specifically trained for the legal domain. We have also the software to identify events from judgments, from sentences issued by courts, distinguishing between procedural events, someone appealed, the court ruled the sentence, and circumstantial events, somebody killed somebody. The result is two different timelines, which can be indeed represented in RDF as a knowledge graph that can be queried, etc. We have also solutions to create enriched terminologies in a semi-automated manner. Departing from a corpora of documents, we can identify which are the relevant concepts and connect them to different external resources, producing a SCOS concept scheme as an output. This is the case of the labor law terminology, which was created during the Lynx project and curated by lawyers. We are currently working in the extraction of relations of between workers, employers, which are the rights, which are the obligations, etc. We have also a cross-lingual search engine. Cross-lingual means that you make a query in a language A and you get documents possibly in language B. This technology is based in topic models, and it was developed in a framework of Horizon 2020 project, but now a spin-off is being created to commercialize the product. Finally, we have a KeyQ, which is a document searcher that gives you instant results within milliseconds with queries made over millions of documents. This is supported by terminologies like those that we have seen before, and results are directly shown over the PDF, the original PDF documents. This functionality is provided through an online web application, can run in the local premises, can run in the cloud. And the takeaway message is the following. You will find these slides in the web. These slides are very rich in academic publications, but also very rich in links to product descriptions, demos, open source code, occasions, etc. We want to be your reliable partner for semantic technologies in the forthcoming Horizon Europe calls, in particular these two solutions, these two calls that these two topics that I am mentioning in the slide. And Elena and I are very happy to have contact with you for any project participation or commercial inquiry. Thank you very much for your attention. That's all.